Hello, it's Mrs. M from your Detroit Public Library, and welcome to another fabulous fairy tale day. I hope your summer's going well, and I hope you've gone online to DetroitPublicLibrary.org and signed up for the Summer Reading Challenge, and that you're logging those books to win prizes for reading this summer. Today, the story is The Three Little Pigs. I downloaded this book on my Hoopla account with my library card. There's also versions of The Three Little Pigs on Overdrive as well as Hoopla. The Three Little Pigs. In this book, this is retold by M.J. York. The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, an old mother pig and her happy family fell into misfortune, and so she sent her three little pigs out into the world to make their own way. The first little pig went into the world. He soon settled down and built himself a little house of straw. Before long, a big, bad wolf came along and saw the little house of straw. He looked in the window and saw the first little pig inside. The big bad wolf knocked on the door and called, little pig, let me come in." The first little pig cried, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," growled the big bad wolf. And he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. The big bad wolf found the little pig and he gobbled him up. The second little pig went out into the world. He soon settled down and built himself a little house made out of sticks. Before long, the big bad wolf came along and saw the little house. He looked in the window and saw the second little pig inside. The big bad wolf knocked on the door and called, little pig, let me come in." The second little pig cried, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." And the wolf said, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," growled the big bad wolf. And he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. He found the second little pig and he gobbled him up. The third little pig went out into the world. He soon settled down and he built himself a little house of bricks. Before long, the big bad wolf came along and saw the little house of bricks. He looked in the window and saw the third little pig inside. The big bad wolf knocked on the door and called, little pig, let me come in." And third little pig answered. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. So the wolf said, then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in. But he could not blow down the house of bricks. Boys and girls, the big bad wolf knew he would have to be clever to catch the third little pig. Little pig, he called, I know where to pick the sweetest turnips. Come out and I'll show you. No, thank you, said the pig politely. He knew the wolf was trying to trick him. I don't like turnips. And the big bad wolf went away. The next day, the big bad wolf came back. Little pig, he called, I'm going to the fair. Will you come with me? No, thank you, said the pig. I have no money for the fair. And the big bad wolf, he went away. The next day, the big bad wolf came back once more. Little pig, he called, the best apples grow in Farmer Brown's garden. Come out and I'll show you where they are. The pig knew the big bad wolf would never leave him alone. He had a plan. I'll meet you tomorrow at 5 o'clock, he replied. The next day, the pig ran out of his house at 4 o'clock. He ran to Farmer Brown's garden. He picked a big basket of apples and he ran home again. He put a big pot of hot water. He put on the fire to heat water for his tea. The big bad wolf came back at 5 o'clock. Little pig, he called, are you ready to go to Farmer Brown's garden? I've already been and come home again, said the pig. At this, the wolf grew angry. He had tried to trick the pig 3 times, and it had not worked. He wanted to eat the pig now. He got a running start and leaped high into the air. He landed on the roof with a loud thump. He jumped down the chimney and splash! Landed in the big pot of boiling water. Hot water. That was the end of the wolf. And the little pig lived happily ever after in his little brick house. And that, boys and girls, is the story of the 3 little pigs. It's a popular fairy tale told for many years to thousands upon thousands of children. You may recognize some of the lines like, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down, and not by the hair of my chin chin chin. Those famous lines, as well as the big bad wolf and the 3 little pigs characters, have appeared in plays, musicals, books, and even movies like Shrek. The 3 Little Pigs story is not just a fun read. It teaches us a lesson, too. When you grow up and it's time to make your own way in the world, like the 3 little pigs, Can you remember their story? The first pig builds his house with straw. Straw is very lightweight, so it's easy to build a home with, but the big bad wolf was able to blow it away. The second pig uses sticks to build its house. Sticks are easy to find and lightweight, but also easy for the wolf to blow over. The third little pig had to take more time and effort to build his house from heavy bricks, but it was solid enough to withstand the big bad wolf's blows, and he is also smart enough to think of a way to stop the wolf from coming inside through the chimney. Hard work and smart thinking pay off, as we learn from the third little pig, the only one still alive at the end of the story. Imagine your story this summer, boys and girls. Thank you for attending Detroit Public Library Digital Library. If you like that story and would like to make your own Three Little Pigs finger puppets, you can email me for this pattern at jmenino@detroitpubliclibrary.org. Thank you again for attending another fabulous fairy tale or folk tale. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.